Let's talk about Luke Skywalker's tight hole. His lightsaber hole, that is. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the Luke Skywalker action figure that couldn't even hold his lightsaber. I know what you're thinking. Junkman, you must be talking about modern Hasbro Star Wars figures, because those figures can't ever hold a weapon. But no, we're talking vintage. But before we start talking about that, we're going to have to talk about Tri-Logo. What is Tri-Logo? Well, Tri-Logo is a package design that kicked off in 1984 as a way for toy companies to save money. Instead of printing a card for each language that they wanted to use, they just did one card with 3 different languages on it. This was for the international market. Now, the Tri-Logo cards were never officially sold in the United States, but if you were hitting up your local KB store around 1985, maybe even 1986, you might have saw Tri-Logo figures. As the Star Wars market was dying off, these toy companies were stuck with a lot of overstock, and they sold them to KB Toys, who would clearance them out, sometimes as cheap as 2 for $1. Whew, wish I had a time machine. Now, these figures on the Tri-Logo card, except for some minor variations, are the same figures we got with Kenner in the US. But probably the oddest of them all is the brown hair Luke Skywalker figure. The original Luke Skywalker figure. I'm not going to say that F word. Let's take a look at it. At first glance, this action figure looks normal. Nothing all that special. That is until you notice his lightsaber is lying in the bubble rather than being placed in his arm. Were the factory workers really that lazy? Could they not at least place the thin yellow saber into his arm? It seems a lot of Darth Vaders got released with a saber in the arm, but Obi-Wan and Luke, they were just thrown into the bubble, not even taped. So why wasn't the lightsaber placed in the hand? Well, it seems for some reason, somehow, no one really knows why, the mold on the arm was slightly changed on the Obi-Wan and the Luke figure, making the hole too small. So you couldn't take the lightsaber, slide it into the slit under the arm, and have the tip go through the hole. That sounded a lot worse than it meant to. Now it seems that this happened to both the Luke Skywalker figure and the Obi-Wan figure, and I was told those packaged in France, the saber would fit in the arms. I could find an Obi-Wan on a Tri-Logo French card holding the saber, but I could find no photo of Luke Skywalker in a package holding the saber. Might be out there, I just couldn't find it. And believe me, I looked for over 10 minutes. So what good was a Luke Skywalker figure to a kid that couldn't even hold his lightsaber? Use all the KY jelly you can, you wasn't gonna force that lightsaber into the hole. Something had to be done. Either they had to go back into the factory, remold the arm, which would cost too much, or retool the arm altogether and give him a hand to hold it. That was really out of the question. So the toy companies had to come up with something. I mean, sure, they had to get a lot of complaints when you have the most popular character in the series line that can't even hold his most popular weapon in the series. So what did they do? Well, they took out that normal, thin, telescoping saber and replaced it with the yellow saber that came with the Bespin Luke Skywalker. Problem solved, right? You're thinking, Junkman, that doesn't help the problem at all. The left Luke Skywalker hand is like this, it's not going to hold anything, and the right one's holding a hole. Holding the lightsaber handle is what I should say. Probably sounds better. So what good would the Bespin Luke saber do? It wasn't going to fit in that tiny hole either. It seemed you could take that Luke Skywalker Bespin saber and shove the handle into the hole, the front of the hole. I'm going to get demonetized for this video. Let's just take a look at it. As you can see, Luke Skywalker can hold the Bespin saber. Although it looks very silly and dumb, at least a kid buying the Luke Skywalker figure could at least have him use the lightsaber. Again, even if it looks ridiculous. Now, as you can see, the Bespin lightsaber wouldn't slide up and down, but you could get just the tip in the hole. You know, like your prom date let you do back in junior high.
I went too far. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, there's really no official reason of why the Tri-Logo came with the regular saber that wouldn't fit and then mysteriously got changed to the Bespin one. This is a theory that most collectors have come up with, and it seems the most common sense. But then you stop to think about it, and they never replaced the Obi-Wan saber. Now, you could have said they could have used the blue saber that originally came with Jedi Luke, but that one changed to green pretty fast. They wouldn't have had a huge stock of those laying in boxes. They could have just left a green saber in there or another yellow one, but I guess they wanted to keep it blue. But maybe we're all wrong. Maybe they just ran out of the original saber and threw the Bespin one in there. Now I don't believe that at all. I believe that the saber wouldn't fit in the hole, and they knew they could shove that Bespin one in the hands and kids could play with it. Obi-Wan, I guess they just didn't get as many complaints. Tell me what you think. Do you think they just put a Bespin saber in the loop because they ran out of the original ones? Or do you think this was a solution to their problem? And let me know, did you ever have trouble getting Luke Skywalker's lightsaber into a small hole? Let me know that and more in the comments below. And always, thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.